Natalie from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, November 13th. So we do have the moon in Pisces all day. It's going to be a little bit of a busy day, mostly in our inner realms, trying to, again, get in alignment from that 11-11 alignment activation portal that we had on Thursday. We are trying to make efforts to really kind of process the new information, the new details coming in so that we can integrate it, make sense of it, come up with a logical plan, a linear plan in our physical realms to make the efforts to bring our new realities into this physical realm. There are 12 different aspects taking place today, a very busy day in the sky. 8 of them involve the moon. We have to keep in mind here that the moon in Pisces is very connected to the higher realms. Our intuition is very strong. Visionary, imaginary land is coming into full spectrum perspective so that we can pull from the higher realms and bring that information in to our physical bodies, apply it to our physical realms so that we can get to manifesting the kind of events, the kind of dreams, visions, and goals that we're now being downloaded with, that we're now being inspired to pursue. The moon trines Mercury. Now, this is a beautiful opportunity, again, to get our heart and our head back in alignment, back in agreement with one another. The beautiful thing here is that the moon in Pisces is water. Mercury in Scorpio is water. There is an electricity that comes in from the mercurial energy that rules over our lower intellect. Logic, practicality, very in relation to this physical realm, but of course bringing in higher vision, higher intuitive insights in our intuition, in our soul consciousness, in our physical realms, in our physical body, is blending these two very powerful energies together. This is going to provide us not only an opportunity for us to realize in our inner realms where it is that we are coming into alignment, but it is going to give us an opportunity to communicate our new thoughts, our new feelings, our new perspective, our new wants, goals, dreams, desires to whoever needs to hear it. Mercury, of course, rules over communication. And the moon in Pisces right now is really trying to formulate what it is that we are feeling, define very clearly what is our thoughts, what is our feelings versus picking up on the subtle energies of other people. The moon sextiles Uranus. This is a huge shakeup, a huge wake up, a huge vision for the future. Again, this Uranian energy is the great awakener, and we are waking up to a brand new possibility. We're waking up to a brand new perspective. And like I said, many of us still trying to process the new information coming in that is very unsettling, that does kind of throw a wrench in our plans. But in this moment, we are so in alignment with our intuition, so in alignment with our higher selves, with higher source, that we're bringing all these little bits of vision into our intellect, into our intuition, and now we're shifting our perspective, shifting our energy, vibration, and frequency to be looking more futuristically forward than looking back at how the hell did we get here? How did this happen? Staying in the present moment, feeling trapped from the confines and confusion, the lack of clarity that we have in this moment. So our intuition is really providing us with a little bit more clarity that might not make logical sense to our mental planes right now, but nonetheless, we are working together in unison, in our heart, in our head. We're trying to communicate. We're trying to be clear with our new perspective, our new thoughts. We're trying to get all on the same page. Mercury then goes ahead and opposes Uranus. Mercury rules over the lower level intellect. Uranian energy is the higher level intellect. Uranian energy is where we bring insights, information, details, visions, dreams into our highest realm from the cosmos, from our higher selves, from the divine intelligence. And then we bring it into the lower level intellect where Mercury rules over, where we can start applying logic and practicality in our physical earthly realms of how it is that we're going to make sense of these visions, of these dreams that we're getting downloaded with. There is an opposition here because Mercury, of course, is in Scorpio and Uranian energy is in Taurus. And Scorpio and Taurus are opposite spectrums of the astrology wheel. So this is going to put our lower level, logical and practical intellect against conflicting, creating tension with our higher divine source intellect. We're really going to have to kind of battle it out in this internal tug of war in order to meet in the middle where we can trust the information coming in from the higher realms and we can attempt to make sense of it and apply it to our physical realms in the here and now. Mercury goes ahead and makes a beautiful aspect with Pluto. Mercury is in Scorpio. We're in Scorpio season. Pluto rules over Scorpio. There's a lot of power here. And what this is kind of suggesting, because it is a positive aspect, is that we're able to process the not so nice information, the not so nice thoughts and memories and details that have just emerged that threw a little wrench in our plans. We're able to overcome that. We're able to use that as a source of power. We're able to transform our thoughts, our thinking, our perspective. This is going to be a boss up move in our mental plane. And then we get a little bit more validation that we're on the right track because the moon goes ahead and makes a very positive aspect with Venus. Venus, of course, in Capricorn, really down to the basics, the nitty gritty of the roles and responsibilities that we have to ourselves to make ourselves happy instead of constantly looking outside of ourselves for that validation from other people to fill up the voids in which we can't even actually describe within ourselves. Subconsciously, we're out there looking for partners to fill up the trauma bonds, to fill up the pain wounds left by our childhoods. And we can't even put into words where it is that these voids are alive and well. And so Venus in Capricorn right now, she's bringing us back down to earth. She's focusing in on the basic roles and responsibilities that we have to ourselves to make ourselves happy, to bring ourselves a source of joy. This is definitely going to be a boss up move in our emotions following that boss up in our mental plane. And we're really starting to see how the greater, grander picture is absolutely unfolding, especially giving us an opportunity to reevaluate what means the most to us, who means the most to us, what brings us the greatest joy, what brings us the greatest pleasure, and where it is that we have to boss up and actually be accountable for our actions. And the moon is going to go ahead and then bump into the true node, which is going to help us get a solid plan together on how it is that we are reworking some of those details that really did throw us for a loop and come up with a different vision on how it is that we're going to bridge the gap from where it is that we're at to where it is that we're going to be. Again, we are very, very reliant on our intuition right now. We're gaining more clarity through our inner realms, through our connection with the higher source powers than we are in our physical realms. And that is a hard thing to kind of, deal with in the present moment. But I can almost guarantee you we're building up towards this full moon partial lunar eclipse in Taurus. At the end of next week, I can guarantee you that you will start seeing the physical validation points in your physical realms, the information, the clarity that you need in your physical realms by the time that we have that full moon. Venus then bumps into the true node just an hour after the moon kind of bumped into the true node. And now we're starting to see the value, we're starting to see the worth, not only within ourselves, but in this whole confusing process. Again, I often speak how confusion is 100% needed. It is an absolute 100% needed ingredient in order for us to figure out where it is that we need to be and where it is that we want to be. And Venus bumping into the true node right now is providing us an opportunity to really see what is going to make us the most happy, what is going to bring us the most joy, where it is that we find the most pleasure in our lives, and reconstruct, rework the details of our plan to make a little bit more time, energy, and effort to have that happiness, have that joy, have that pleasure, really root in, building a new foundation for that to become part of our day-to-day life. The moon goes ahead and comes up to sitting next to Neptune that rules over this Piscean energy. This is where things are going to get a little bit overwhelming, a little bit wish-washy. We're all over the place. We tend to really just not know what is ours to feel and what it is that we're picking up from other people. There's a lot of fear, a lot of insecurity, a lot of chaos that can arise. But mostly, this is a magical time for us to really be visualizing, attaching emotion to this visual, and really kind of take the steps needed in order to bring these new dreams and visions into our physical reality. The moon trines the sun. The moon in Pisces, water. The sun in Scorpio, water. The moon is our emotions, is our intuition. The sun is our life force and what it is that we need to be pouring our energy, time, and attention into. And what it is that this particular aspect is doing for us right now is saying, okay, you had time to get a dream. You had time to get a vision. You've had time to rework some of the details. Yep, you're still lacking a couple of pieces to the puzzle, but for what it is that you know right now, where can you make an action in your today, present moment to take a baby step to align with the new visions and the new dreams that you know you want to manifest? This is very much an overlap of recognizing what it is we have to let go of, emotionally speaking, and what it is that we need to be bossing up and stepping into in order to create a little bit of an easier path for us to actually travel to bring some of these new dreams and visions to life. Venus goes ahead and bumps into Saturn, and this is the point in the day where we're starting to question ourselves, where we feel blocked in taking action, where we recognize that the process right now is really in our inner realms, and we're kind of being held back or challenged to make the same kind of progress in our physical realms. The moon then bumps into Saturn, and this is again where we come up to the emotional blocks that we're unable to let go of, the blocks that are preventing us from truly moving forward. This is a time where we are going to kind of lose that little luster that we've been kind of sitting in, doing very well, kind of aligning to the higher vibes and keeping our heart open. This is when we kind of move into the negative narrative and start tearing ourselves down, just kind of realizing like, wow, we're able to make more progress in our inner realms than our physical realms right now. But the physical obstacles are really challenging us to keep that positive mindset and attitude that we need. And that is a little bit discouraging. But fear not. The moon in Pisces is going to go ahead and bump into Jupiter. And Jupiter is all about growth and expansion. He is our hype girl. He wants us to be positive and confident and optimistic about the future possibilities. But we're not feeling so futuristically positive right now because of this little run-in with Saturn, which means that we do have the possibility of Jupiter amplifying, magnifying the not so nice vibes, the not so nice narratives. It's really up to us in this moment to recognize where it is that we are feeling these overwhelming darker force energy, emotions, and thoughts so that we can rewrite the script. We can push ourselves outside of the comfort zone that we find ourselves in that victimhood mentality. And we can recognize that we have to get out of this. We have to get out of this funk. We have to take the opportunities presented to us in our physical realms to boss up, to step outside of what is old, what is familiar, what is tried, what is tested and true in order to align with the wants, the needs, and desires that are now very overwhelming in our heart space and in our head space. This is going to provide us a beautiful opportunity to think really, really big and then to break it down into smaller, manageable pieces so that we can actually do something about it in our inner realms, in our physical realms, to actually see these particular details be manifest in our physical realms. But of course, the transformation needs to start in our inner realms first, with our heart and with our head.